what is up, everybody? Welcome to the 43rd episode of The Black Couch, and in this episode, we're going to be reviewing Rush, a film by Ron Howard. Oh, yeah. So, the movie Rush, filmed by Ron Howard, like I said before, based on true events of one of the greatest rivalries in F1 history between James Hunt and Niki Lauda.
Played respectively by Chris Hemsworth and Daniel Bruhl.
And yeah, I mean, this movie was advertised as this gritty rivalry movie between two really intense racers. And I, for one, I'm not really into F1. I don't really watch F1.
But the trailer spoke to me. Yeah,
and then the trailer didn't on paper the movie doesn't seem like something it would appeal to any of us.
Yeah.
But I was interested. I'm interested in learning about F1 and the rivalry they built up in the trailer looked interesting. So yeah, we went and watched it. And yeah, this is our review. Let's start off like always, taking turns talking about what we liked, and then after let's talk about what we didn't like. I'll go first. What I did like was I felt like this movie, the characters. I feel like the characters, especially Niki Lauda and James Hunt, I thought they really played off each other really well.
Yeah.
I thought the rivalry was great. I felt like the key to this movie is they learn off each other.
Yeah.
Because in the main movie, both characters are complete opposites of each other. James Hunt is this playboy, party guy, and Niki is this really uptight, serious guy who's really technical with his racing, while James Hunt is more
freehand.
He's more heart at heart. When he likes danger.
Yeah.
He goes balls to the wall, crazy, and Niki's more technical. He calculates the angles of
the percentage,
the spares error. How dangerous the track is when it's raining, when it's not raining, and he looks at the scoreboards really.
He takes everything very seriously.
He takes everything seriously, and I feel like they learn from each other. Niki learns that you don't have to take everything so seriously, and James learns that sometimes you have to have discipline. You can't always be so crazy. I feel like they learned off each other really well for that. I feel like the camera angles for the racing was really good, and overall the acting was great too. And I just overall there weren't any glaring problems with the movie. And I feel like the strength of the movie is these two characters, and rightfully so. This is a rivalry movie, so yes, that's what I liked.
I basically like the same thing that you did. The character rivals, very nice contrast. Movie was beautifully shot. All the angles with the racing, they're all different, and you could really feel like I was there watching the race, not watching a movie type thing. So yeah.
Right. Okay. So my big thing is with this was just the soundtrack was really nice. Every time a race started, you were let's get this thing going. The cinematography with the camera angles and all the kind of editing little magic bits, just the coloration and everything kind of saturated I don't know. It was really, you felt like you were there.
Right.
So every time every time the drivers got in the car, you were things about to start. And when they started driving and those camera angles inside the machinery of the car, the pistons moving, the engine roaring, and just every angle where that took the cars around the corner, in that scene. Every time the race ended, I was like, I can finally breathe again, right? And also another thing, I know it wasn't meant to be a kind of documentary kind of thing about how F1 works.
Right.
But I felt like I learned a lot about how
I did too.
The business side of F1.
Right. Yeah.
Because when lots of parts where James Hunt was part of when he was switching teams and all that, it felt like there's actual business behind it, not just
finding sponsors.
Yeah, and not just people racing on the track.
Yeah, you need money and you need to be good and
people need to believe you're good.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, I feel like that too. Okay, so that's all the stuff that we did like. Now let's talk about stuff we didn't like. Now for me, I have a few problems with the movie. One of them being, I felt like some events in the movie, I felt like they cut too fast. There's this scene where, James meets his future wife, and they talk about stuff. And then next scene, all of a sudden they're married. I feel like that was kind of, and that really played into not really caring about what happens to the relationship toward, later on in the movie. I feel like because they didn't really build up that relationship. So, and when the relationship does change, like the status of the relationship does change, I don't want to spoil anything, but stuff happens. You don't really feel for James's character, and you don't feel like it really contributed much to his development because there wasn't any build up towards.
Because he really didn't really care either.
Yeah, and so some scenes like that, I also feel like some of the races, and I get that you can't show every single race in the movie. I get that. You know, the movie can only be so long before people start leaving the theater. But I feel like they cut too many of the races. I feel like that really hindered the intensity of the film. You know, this is a F1 movie. Yeah. Show us more F1 stuff. But the movie does compensate for that with the characters, but I already talked about that and what I liked. And another thing I didn't like about this movie is it didn't really move me as much as I thought it would move me. Like, for a movie that claims that it's like this big-ass rivalry movie where, like, the biggest rival is F1 ever in history. And then, like, you watch the movie and you're like, okay, yeah, there's a rivalry, okay. And then, like, I don't know, I just didn't feel, like, emotional.
Right, okay, you didn't feel emotional.
The characters were still great, don't get me wrong. But I feel like, there was no umph to that thing. Okay. And, like, something happens in the last race where I feel like I like the way they did it, because that really... Because the thing that happens in the last race really speaks to Niki's character. It really shows the development of his character. I really like that. But then again, I would also have liked to have a more intense race. Not to spoil anything, but something happens, blah, blah. So I feel like, coming out of the movie, you know, it was good. It was still good, but I feel like I was missing something. So that's just me.
Basically, all my dislikes are nitpicks, so I don't know if they're worth, mentioning. So, the cutting, the wedding, they're like, oh, you want to get married, boom, wedding, that's kind of weird. And, so the girlfriends are like, what's the point? You're barely in the movie, so if you weren't there, there's no point, things like that.
Okay, so.
Yeah, my dislikes were marginally the same as yours, in the fact that, when I was watching it, I didn't, I felt kind of empty. Like there was something missing.
Right. Yeah.
Underlying beneath all the action and the drama and surprisingly the comedy.
Right.
There was something kind of I wasn't emotionally attached to the character.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Chris Hemsworth, kudos to him. He is
Right.
Chris Hemsworth was top notch in this movie. I got lost in his character. The moment he came on screen, he became James Hunt.
Yeah.
I totally believed in the character, but it was something underneath that I didn't like. There was no kind of heart to it.
Right. I felt like, his character didn't really learn much. Like, I feel like Niki's character learned way more than James' character.
Yeah.
I feel like they develop, and then I feel like something happened.
The character arc went like this, and then
it kind of goes backwards. I feel like I don't think James really learned anything.
But I think that's just because of who he was.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He does learn things. He does change, but. Not as much as Niki, I feel like.
Yeah, because as a person, James Hunt.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't really change true. Yeah. You know, if a movie based on a true story, you can't really change it too much. Yeah. Then you can't really say it's based on a true story. But yeah.
Yeah, that was my one dislike.
So that's what we thought about the movie. Let's give our final thoughts. Overall, I thought this movie was good. Not amazing. I liked the characters, liked how they played off each other, liked how they learned from each other. I liked like you said earlier, there were some funny interactions. Yeah. I like that. Overall, my favorite character is Niki. I think he's great. Like, he's so uptight, like, he doesn't realize no one cares about all this car stuff, and I find that hilarious. So I love that. It's just that for me, I just didn't feel. There was no, I didn't feel it as much as I thought I would, and I felt the potential of it being intense and, like, really feeling the rivalry. But, like, I mean, there were scenes here and there, like, one scene right before the final race where, like, they kind of nod at each other with a mutual respect. I thought that was really good. But, yeah, overall, I feel like there wasn't umph to the... leaving the movie theater, I didn't feel moved as much as I,
Coming from a person who actually did not want to see this movie in the beginning, like, not into cars, not into all that, like, this is more like a male topic, obviously, and coming from a female viewer, like, I went into this, I was like, okay, you have to go with an open mind, like, you never know what's going to happen. I came out of this movie, was absolutely amazing, fantastic. Basically, everything I liked was, like, a nitpick, so I don't really count that, and I love James Hunt and his contrast with Niki Lauda, so, yeah.
Overall, the acting was top-notch in the movie. Never once did I say, what are you doing in this movie?
Right. Yeah.
I was Daniel Bruhl, Chris Hemsworth. They're perfectly cast as their characters.
Perfect.
You believe that they were these people, and the setting and the rivalry just felt real to me.
Right.
Yeah, that was basically it was a really good movie.
All right, so that's our final thoughts. Now it's time to give our verdict. So my verdict for this movie is an 8 out of 10. Good movie, not amazing, had some problems, but yeah. Anna?
I loved it so much, I'm actually going to give it a 10 out of 10. My first, perfect.
10 out of 10, perfect movie.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. So that's our scores, 8, 10, 9. Overall, average score across the board for this review is a 9 out of 10. Great, good movie. I think it's a good movie. You guys think, great.
It's a good solid movie.
Anna thinks it's an amazing movie. Some kind of polarizing opinions, but overall, I feel like we enjoy this movie as a whole.
Yeah.
Go watch it. I mean, if you're into F1, definitely watch that stuff.
Yeah, definitely go.
If you were alive, I mean, if you lived,
exactly.
If you knew about this before and you come into this,
yeah,
it's a whole kind of cinematic feel to this.
And if you're not into F1, and you feel like it's not a movie for you, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, definitely give it a try.
You might like it. I mean, Anna, not into F1, she thinks this movie is amazing. There's a chance you might like it. You might not be into F1, but there's definitely more than F1 in this movie that you can enjoy. So yeah, pros, great characters, great rivalry. Cons for me, some scenes, went a bit too quick and not enough but yeah, overall great movie. So yeah. So that's it for this episode of The Black Couch. If you guys have any opinions about Rush, if you've seen it, please give your comments down below. Tell us what you think. Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Do you agree with any of our opinions about the movie? Do you disagree? Give your opinion down below. We always love to read your comments. They're great. Requests for any future topics for The Black Couch, please comment down below for those as well. And yeah, thank you for watching. If you guys like this video, please like it. If you like it even more, please share it. If you like it even more, please favorite it. I mixed up the order, but who cares? And if you like it even more, subscribe to our channel for updated content. Also subscribe to our personal channels. We have other stuff there too. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 42nd episode of the